right, man. Yes. We've got oil stocks on the move into the close. We look at the XLEs pushing up to previous highs. We had a little bit of a breakdown last week. If you were in Discord, we were talking about this price move below the 20-day moving average. Very, very bearish, right? And we had this nice low. I don't do hard stops, so we give it a minute. And we saw price come back into the close, and that was the previous trading session. Let me pause this. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let's see. All right, we got 32 people. Show must go on. So we saw a lot of strength in oil stocks, a lot of weakness yesterday. Bam, turns right around into the close. We see the XLE breaking out. Whereas, let's look at Chevron, some of the big players. CBX, lighting in here is bad. Yep, 185, breaking back to the previous high. Now, I'm down in what I believe to be a core position in my oil stocks. I'm holding about 250 shares of Exxon, a little over 100 of Chevron, and a little over 200 of ConocoPhillips. So a little bit of weight, not massive, not a fortune, but enough to feel it. And now we're pushing back to all-time high. So, man, this trade has been pretty nice. And we caught this last stage one. I mean, perfect, right? Remember? So the ERX, even though I wasn't personally adding to my long-term oil holdings because I've owned oil stocks for a long time. If I was new to it, maybe I would be. But I have a pretty sizable position. But these are the spots that you're looking to do that, right? Whether it be as an investor or a trader, these are the zones, these big stage 4 declines. Let's pull up the petersreport.com. A lot of people don't know this. This updates all the time. So if I update it, I don't notify you. It just updates. So it's like a living document here. So the last time I put on there was 11/17/22, adding to Bark and HBI. So I haven't done a lot because I've been pretty all in here recently. Just been little drips. There's been a couple in Discord that I said, hey, I'm dripping. I don't feel like I need to text that because it's a stage 1. It's what you're supposed to do if you know the money flow. And where are we at on this? Oh, let's go to our pattern. Fractal pattern. In this ongoing feedback loop of price. Into the close, you see oil stocks ripping. They had started to sell off stage 3, and then it comes right back. Pretty impressive. And now we got them breaking out. What's up? Like the video, you greedy bastards. What's up, man? Hey. Fabby. Let's see. I hadn't turned this computer on over here in 2 months. And if you haven't ever turned a computer on in 2 months, man, it wants to update everything. So I saw oil rushing in the close. I wasn't even going to go live. I'll probably delete this, but I wanted to cover it because it's been crazy. And we've been talking about how oil, the commodity itself, has actually been in a sell-off, but yet the oil stocks just refuse to go down. And we finally started to break, and I was like, I'm going to wait and see how we do into the close. And then into the close, we saw price just push right back. I mean, it just came back, still under the 20, but it came back up above the low of the previous day there, man. And, you know, it's right, almost like right back into that stage 3 box. Pretty impressive. So we wait, and now we're running higher. What about UNG? This is one I've been building up. Some people are in boil. Woo! 5%, baby. Come on, man. So this has been a pretty easy one. Now look at this. You know, once you can step back and see it, man, right? So you see what you're playing. Man, Come on. I'm doing yard work today, man. That's why I think I'm gonna take a week off on Instagram. Instagram hurts my brain sometimes. Perfect pattern. Perfect fractal money flow pattern. Perfect. In this ongoing feedback loop of price moving in the 4 stages. And here it is, pushing up. Right? Remember we hit it before that. That's kind of our first target. I want to let this one go. I don't want to take any off there. You could. We talked about that. Some people were in boil, and that move right there, it was like 30, 35%. Maybe you bang it, take some off. But I'm really playing for a bigger number on UNG in the 30, 31, 32 range. Matter of fact, I'd rather trim on the 70 RSI first if I was going to do anything, which would probably be up in this 24, 25 range. So that's where I'm expecting price to go, to push up into there. I'm expecting it to go to $31. This is what I'm expecting. So 100 shares at 19 bucks, and you run up to here, that's 32. I don't know where you do math, but that's a pretty good run. Same here to here, right? Pretty good run. So we'll see. We've been building this one in coffee as well. Let's check in on that. Oh, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at this. Man. I had a guy, I hope you can see it. It looks a little dark. Looks a little dark to me. There we go. See what I see? See what I see? Man. We got our trigger, right? Price getting above that 5 after a big stage 4 decline. And we're waiting for it to start building out the box. Now, I thought it started over in here. Remember, I got in and I said, hey, it's pretty small. And then it broke the box. And I said, I'm not selling because my position's super small. And the RSI is like 26, 24, man. This thing has come down way too much. Just the law of what do they call it? Lost my train of thought. I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, full-blown stage 1, back in the box, super bullish on coffee. Could still add here. Liked it better yesterday than I do here. The further it gets from here, the less I like it. Once we're above the 20, hands off, you let it run, and we're looking for a target probably around in the 55 range. And that's technical trading of the money flow trading system. I mean, and if you want to do stops, maybe you have some in here. I don't use hard stops, and it depends on how we're building it. Not all trades are, some trades are bigger or longer. You're willing to give it more room, and you add on when it's time to add, and you take gains off when it's time to take gains. Man, this one's been working out great, dude. I feel good about that too, man. This is what I do when you leave me alone, man. I'm like, fuck, we got to make some money on nat gas, on coffee. So, I don't know. Let's check in. What's up with Amazon? This is one we've been building. I think this is a no-brainer. Not very much, huh? Not even 1%. This is a nice stage 1, though, man. Man, if I didn't have some Amazon. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. Look at this. 93.20 to close today. It sure looks like it wants to go higher. We got an anchor point, right? Oh, let me take this down. Starting to mess with my screen. Come on, man. Yeah, so we got our anchor point. Yeah, I like it, man. And that's it, man. What else we got going on? You got Gilead. I got one of my friends trying to short Gilead. How are you going to short Gilead, man? Look at this. Big winner for the money flow gang. I've been in this for like 2 or 3 years, adding in that 50 zone, and then to catch it run like this is nice because I had some nice share size too. Now it's $85 stock. This thing could easily push up to be 100, and then it goes from 100 to 150, and we start this money flow cycle over, and the numbers have been adjusted, and they upgrade the stock. And right now $85 is fair value. Maybe it pulls back to 78, then they upgrade the stock, and now we're running for 100. And that's how Starbucks goes from 50 to 100 over a period of years, man. If you look at Starbucks, it's 1, 2, buying in the 50s. And now it's pushing up fair value. I don't have any interest in letting any of my shares go, but because I think once Starbucks gets over 100 next run, that goes to 200. We'll see. We'll see. And then if they can grow the dividend into this share price, all the better, man. Somebody said the hourly on Amazon. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, look. There it is, man. Come on, man. You don't see any droids. Yeah, this is, man, look at this too. Look at this zone. Whew. I mean, the last money flow run, it ran right up and stopped where it stopped before, and now we're running up. We'll see. Hourly does look good, though. That's a 7-point run. If you're a trader, you're trading Amazon. Come on. You could 2-tier stop it here and here. If I was putting on weight, like if I wanted to put on a big trade, maybe, you just got to honor your stop here and here and just go half there, maybe. In other words, if it doesn't start going your way, you're going to downsize the trade. And then you're going to give it a little room. And you can always put it back on. Like, you see what I'm saying? You're finessing it, man. And if it doesn't go your way and run up here and make you some money, maybe we need to downsize it for a minute and let it come in. But we'll see. It's Amazon, so I think you can play it a lot of ways. Cisco, yeah, those are no-brainers, right? That's a dog of the Dow, man. People are like, how do you pick stocks? Dogs of the Dow. Not that hard. Look at that. 70 RSI. And look where the 70 RSI is. It's right in that zone where it stopped before, man. You got a box there, an attempted breakout. See the attempted breakout? That makes this the stage 1. You got 1, goes into a 4, and what? New 1, stage 2. Very short 3, down into a 4, 1, 2, right? Now we've run up 2, and it's, look, the RSI is banging a high right where it was before, where it banged a high. Look at that. That's funny, man. Which if you look over here where it stopped, it was bang, was it? Yeah, it was, man. It was close on the RSI. So that RSI, and these things are organic, and it's moving and it's floating. It may go from 50 to 90, back to 60, right up to 112, back to, or maybe it drifts down, but that flow pattern is still happening. Yeah, beautiful money flow move, man. Those are so, sometimes I'm like, why do I do anything else? Like, I wonder that, because the ones where, let's see, did the XLU stop right at the 200? I've been doing yard. Look at this. XLU hit the 200 and just stopped. And that's where it stopped before several times, here and here. And by stop before, there's a level there. Like, you can see a level. There's a box, at least a box or a stage. Just, if you have a prolonged stage 2 where it runs up, it can start to stage and then runs up again, start to stage and then runs up again. Those are, massive moves. Often it's really not like that. Most of the time, you're getting a stage 4 decline. Price goes down to where it's going to go and stops, and then starts going sideways, and then it breaks out, and then it runs up to where it's going to go, and then it stops. And that's what I'm looking for. Now, here's the thing. Every stock doesn't do it all the time, every day on every stock. They can get out of, I don't know what to call it, out of flow. Like, the chart's just terrible. It just doesn't work. Now, if on a chart like that, if you dropped down and you went to, say, a 5-minute, You know, maybe in that sense it starts to flow. And even this is a 5-minute of the USO. That's probably not a good thing to pick. Let's look at the SPY, man. Yeah, there's one of those runaways like we were talking about. I have a whole video on this if you have my class or my getting started with stock charts. I think a lot of people think that means the program stock. No, man, it means just stocks and charts. Runs up, right? Sideways, comes down, doesn't go very far, and then what? Breaks out, goes sideways. See that pattern? That's flow. That's it flowing. You know, and sometimes they're picture perfect. Sometimes you got to look and you're like, oh yeah, it's getting out of flow. You know, it's getting out. But then usually even when it gets out, when you look back on a bigger picture, it like starts to come in because it's organic, it's growing, it's living. And then you what? It runs, starts to flow sideways, stage 3, then it runs. And that's a runaway. When you get that on a daily chart, like catching a Snapchat from $12 to 52 over a 2-month period straight up, you know, those are beautiful, man. And when you catch those and you don't fuck it up, you just let it run and it was trade and then you close it, you make 300%. That makes up for a lot of losers. But what a lot of people do is it starts to do that and they're up on, they start taking it off and then they don't catch 200, 300. I had one last year, was it last year or the year before? It was 5,500%. I mean, 3,000%. Are you closing it? Are you closing it at 4,000%? I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, some of that's going to be intuition, and those are rare by all means, right? But that makes up for a lot of losing trades, man. Let's look at Hasbro. Yeah, nice push up. That price got stupid. That 56, 58, my God. These are some you're going to look back and be like, fuck. You know, like 2 years from now, like, what was I doing, man? You know, Hanes brand still shocks me. There's still a bunch of them, man. Where's Ford? Look at Ford. Look at this. My God. Look at this pattern. It's one of the prettiest money flow patterns, man. Just perfect. And look where it's stopping. Right at the 200, man. We talk about this in my new book that I'm working on called Chaos to Cash, where it's like that 200 is, I mean, look, it stopped it here, stopped it there. It becomes a wall, it becomes a floor, it becomes a target. It's such a living, breathing, beautiful thing. Reversion to the mean, man. That's what I couldn't remember earlier when I was saying about the coffee trade. Damn, Gerald. I knew I'd remember it. That there's such a thing as reversion to the mean. You know, like when oil hits 0, it's like, okay, uncle, enough. And then it rips back, reversion to the mean. And you see that, and that's usually where the 200-day comes in. When it gets below it, when price gets below it, it gets pulled back to it. When it gets below it, it gets pulled back to it. When it gets really below it, there's such a thing as reversion to the mean where you're just going to get these big snapback moves, you know. So if, as a trader, especially if you're nimble or if you're flexible, you could build this up in coffee. When that runs, make $5, $6, $7 a share, you know. Turn 47 into 5,900. I don't know. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys.